All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you familiar with what is going on? War is going on. And this war, 77 million white people, MAGA people, white supremacists, and Republicans are sending your fathers, your mothers, your sons and daughters with a gun in their hand to go and fight for a crook who's crooked all over America and now trying to crook out into the rest of the world, trying to crook them. America. Well, prophecy says that this thing is over with, coming down, shaking. That those who have oppressed others will now be in a position to be oppressed. And those who were oppressed are in a position to take the lead. My hope is that those who have been in oppression, who suffered, will never, ever try to do to others what has been done to them. I realize that some people can't wait. Let's get even. But getting even is just the same thing as white supremacy. Getting even is the same thing as the devil. So we got gas prices going up when things were okay a little bit. They weren't beautiful, but we were kind of used to it. Everything going up. Gas prices going up. Everything. You got cameras at street lights and signs trying to make sure they catch any little thing that any driver does because they want to rip them off for more money. It is a crying shame that we live in this. But you say dumb, stupid, ignorant fools. That was that 77 million that put Trump in office. And I'm not talking about all white. There were others who wanted to be white. That was the Senate, United States Senate. That was the Supreme Court. All of them represented in that dumb, stupid, ignorant, foolish category, one or the other. And enough others were not available to stop it. So dumb, stupid, ignorant fools did not want a black woman, to be president that could have prevented all of the stuff that's happening from happening. They're excited that they didn't get the black woman, and they're trying to celebrate the evil and I don't think of a word to say, that's coming from those 77 million people who said dumb was okay if it's white. I think some white person said that if you're white, you can't do any wrong. Doesn't matter. You can stand up against Jesus. If Jesus is black, white supremacists stand up against him like anything. But that's neither here nor there. White people really can't stop nothing. They just having a game right now that is permitted to be played. But they say that you heard it said, should I say, that wars and rumors of wars and all earthquakes and floods, and these things going on, you got a lot of black preachers talking about this is a sign that Jesus is coming. And it is stated that this information, this kind of preaching was given to the slaves to keep them afraid, to keep them in a certain position that they could never see liberation coming. They could not see the prodigal son waking up. They couldn't see that. They couldn't see Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. They couldn't see that. They didn't see Daniel in the lions, and they couldn't see that. And yet, the prophecy is that those who have been oppressed, doesn't matter whether you're black or white, doesn't matter what shade you might be in, if they were stepping on you, treating you like trash, treating you like dogs and wild animals are, then it is your time as well. It is your time. But I want to tell you, before you stand up, start running your mouth, I want you to think. Think about what your position is going to be. Think about what you want to see done that hasn't been done in your lifetime. Say that you want to see a beautiful society, and not just a beautiful America, but a beautiful society. Say that you want to see people having their needs, their wants, and their desires met. People, not just Americans, but people everywhere. Say that you want to see that those things that have been determined as essential for survival and otherwise, that they are available in abundance, that everyone should have access to them. Say that. Think about that. Plan about that. Plan about how to fulfill that. And that is through engaging everyone in a job. Just like they got all those guys on these ships talking about going over there fighting a damn war that they had nothing to do with. Make sure when they come on this planet, wherever you are, that you know, one of the first things that you know is that growing up, you're going to have a job. You're going to participate in life. You're not going to be a burden on anybody. You're going to be a part of the process, which will enable you to be a part of the bossship of all the things that exist. You don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to lie and cheat and deceive. You don't have to do any of those things because this is a new day. I'm not trying to say this is the black man's way. I'm saying this is God's way. And if the black man hears it, then right on with the right on. And white folks, I hope you hear too, because you see what you've been doing in America for all the 200 and some odd years. You see you have been the same old people. There's not been a piece of goodness in white bone. And that doesn't mean that some white people haven't had some character. Some white people have. But the masses have been demonic. And even this day, as late as it is, for most of the white people in this country, is still demonic. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, God still is saying that we who are not and have not had that benefit will engage ourselves in life. And we're going to see that everybody else engage themselves in life. We're not going to leave doors open where people can mess up. You know, they say, don't steal. And they go around and tell the people, individual people, don't steal. God doesn't like that when the nation is stealing everything it possibly can. So you got to recognize, ladies and gentlemen, stop acting a fool. Stop acting stupid. Stop acting ignorant. Stop acting dumb. And have some sense. Wake up. Have some sense. Wake up. Have some sense. And the best sense you can have is loving yourself. And the next best sense that's tied to that is loving others, just like you love yourself. Because the love that you have for yourself will be blessed based upon their love for you and your love for them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a black man, and I'm glad to be a black man to tell you that I ran against Donald Trump, and it breaks my heart that Donald Trump sat there and told you all these lies, as hateful as he could be. And this black man told you about the things that operates in heaven that we could have down here, and you didn't even want it. And since you didn't want it, black people weren't paying any attention to it. Well, that's the life of people who are dumb, stupid, ignorant fools. And I know you hate to hear somebody call you dumb, but you know you are, those of you who are. You hate to see somebody call you stupid, but you know you are, those who are. And you hate to see somebody call you ignorant, but you know you are, if you are. And you really hate for somebody to call you a fool, but you are, if that's what you are. Can anybody call you a lover? Heck no. Can't nobody call you a lover. Why? Because you don't even know what it is. Make America great with all that hate. Now it started wars everywhere. And you still got a crook walking around here, a rapist walking around here, a white supremacist walking around here trying to act like he's the boss. And you celebrating. You celebrating. But I tell you, you're going to suffer, but it won't be at the hands of black people. It won't be at the hands of people that God has raised up. It'll be at your own hands that God is allowing you to do to yourselves. You can bank on that.